But without further ado, I want to introduce, well, he doesn't need an introduction. That's why you're all here. David Kesey. Thank you. All right, so here's the one and only David Kesey after a great event. I really appreciate you coming out to add some value for all of our partners. And, you know, to be blunt, I want to be like David, you know. My mission is to add value for the agents that we serve, the clients that we serve. And so, you know, what advice do you have to me? I mean, we do things like put on events like this. You know, we're trying to help with content production. I'm not a marketing guru, but I'm trying, right? You know, I mean, what are the things that you would suggest that I do to continue to add value in that arena?
Well, this is good. Let me get this microphone here. I think, you know, if you listen to one of the takeaways that we talked about today is like, if I could leave anybody, that entire presentation was 3 hours of content. One of the things that I would just say that's probably the most important is the idea of who you work with. I think that in business, we get into business and we think, you know, we take things for granted, but the people that you work with are the most important, right? Like the fact that you're saying, like, my biggest thing is how do I provide value to my agents? Like, dude, that's how I wake up every day. I wake up every single day. I don't think about the money. I don't think about the revenue. I don't think about the sales process. I don't think about any of that stuff. I think about, like, what do they need my help with? And you are that. Now, one of the things that I would say, though, I'm blown away by how many real estate agents don't leverage their lenders, right? They don't leverage the people in their life that are supporting them, their lenders, their title reps. There's people that could be helping them with their business, but they're so busy protecting themselves from people that they think might be attacking that they just don't engage. And people like yourself are what helps people grow business. How many people are out there that they're just trying to get? Right? So that I think that the biggest takeaway that I would say, if you're like, how are you going to be like David Kesey, which is very flattering. You've never heard me say that, but I think the thing that I would say is like, try to make a difference and focus on making a difference over everything else. And dude, you do that.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And yeah, I got a follow up for you on more a personal level. You know, I have this major fear of public speaking. You know, and so I'm trying to get out of my shell. I did an event earlier this year. You know, spoke for about 30 seconds. I really had 2 minutes of content, but I couldn't get through it. And so I folded. But, you know, aside from just keep doing it, you know, do you have any tips for me on that? Or I mean, is that?
Dude, for sure. So yeah, like just keep doing it might work and it might not. Because you could develop the same rep of I get in front of a crowd, I get nervous, and it becomes an anchor for you, right? So that's not necessarily true. But let me say this, dude, like you spoke today for like 3-4 minutes. I had no idea. And I'm a professional speaker, so I will tell you this. I think there's two things in professional speaking that people get nervous about. One is the opinion of other people, right? So they get nervous about the opinion, and in our DNA it's there, because if the tribe doesn't like me, now I'm not with the tribe, and now I'm gonna die, I'm not safe, right? So it's in your DNA, it's natural to be nervous in front of people, but the thing that I had to do was I had to say, look, it's not about their opinion, it's not about my opinion. The focus when I speak, I have 0% of my focus on me. In fact, I have a hard time going back to the presentation I just did and telling you what I said. And all I know is people come up to me and they're like, that was amazing. And I'm like, good.
Was it?
Right, yeah. And I typically don't have any of my focus on me. It's like somebody came up to me and said, you know, what was so amazing about your speaking, I thought, was that you really, as you spoke, you were really cognizant about where everybody was. You could tell people got a little energy loss, and that you could, that's because all my focus is on them. And so what I would say is this, dude. The right approach fixes mechanics. The right approach will fix mechanics. Like in baseball, Manny Mota was my coach, who was an all-star for and a legend, Hall of Famer for the Dodgers. And he said, if you just try to hit the ball up the middle every time, all the mechanics work out. If you just have that approach. So that, let's take that to speaking. If approach trumps mechanics, and you say, well, I'm not going to try to make a point. I'm not going to try to look good. I'm not going to try to be perfect. I'm just going to try to make a difference. And if I can just change one person's life, then it was done right.
Wow. That's heavy duty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to spending more time with you. I'm going to talk to you about some coaching myself.
I want to spend more time with you. You're the kind of people I want to work with.
Thank you. Appreciate your time, David.
Of course, man. Thank you.